Coming up on the program, an attack on a mosque in South Africa leaves one person dead. A court in Sudan sentences a young woman to death for killing her abusive husband. And Kenya's chief prosecutor orders an investigation into the dam disaster that killed over 40 people. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Temitope Fagbimi. We begin today in South Africa, where the country is reeling from an attack at a mosque in Verulam, north of the coastal city of Durban, that has left one person dead and two others in critical condition. A police manhunt is on for the three men who allegedly carried out the attack on a handful of worshippers with knives and fled in a car. Many groups and the government have condemned the attack, which happened on Thursday. Reports say the mosque has been receiving threats over its brand of Islamic teachings, but the police say investigations are on to find the attackers and their true motive. So let's get more on this story from our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia. Thanks for joining us on Network Africa, Betty.
Thank you, Tope.
So what more do we know about the mosque attack in Verulam?
Well, we understand the investigation is still ongoing. The Priority Crimes Unit, that's the Hawks, they're still combing the scene, or forensic experts are combing the scene for more information. Right now is all speculation and tentative information, so nothing has really been confirmed. But what the eyewitnesses have said and those who survived the attack. So we understand three men, as you said earlier, attacked the mosque yesterday after prayers. And the mosque had been receiving threats, people telling them, unknown people telling them to watch what the teachings, the brand of teachings that they're adhering to or giving out to the people, saying they're brainwashing the people, according to some of the eyewitnesses as well. And after that, one of them, the man whose throat was slit, was trying to help someone else who had been stabbed, a young man of 34 who has, I think, 2 children, and he died on his way to hospital. Some of those who were stabbed are recovering, some have been discharged, but a massive manhunt is there, and there are appeals going out by different groups to people who would have any information to help the police and the mosque as well.
So, Betty, do we have any idea if this could be a terrorist attack?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but according to the spokesperson for the Hawks in the province where this has taken place, that's KwaZulu-Natal, Simpiwe Mhlongo, he said there are extremism elements that they're looking at. We know that because of these threats, speculations have been out there saying it's probably religious sectarianism, people who do not adhere to what other people adhere to. But we know that this is a country where there is exemplary religious freedom. It's a violent country, all right, but regarding religion, people are free to worship wherever and whatever they wish to worship. So there's nothing official that this is the cause of this. So information is what is being sought at the moment to know what the motive is, because the spokesperson said this is one of its kind. I don't think they've seen something like this. So that's apart from, some of these recruits, ISIS recruits that were planning things outside the country. At a point, we heard things were being planned within the country, but an incident of this kind hasn't been seen, even in a violent country like this.
So how are ordinary South Africans reacting to this attack? Do they feel safe, or are there fears of more attacks of this nature?
People are hoping, and people are, funny enough, they're closing ranks, different religious groups, the Muslim community, all the other communities, social groups, even political groups are appealing to the people not to press the panic button or be in panic mode, but to work together to help the police solve this crime and not to allow people stamp on their freedom to worship, anybody's freedom to worship wherever or however they wish to. The different groups are coming out to appeal, and government as well, appealing to people to help, because this can only be solved by the community members who give information to the police, apart from what the experts will be able to find out. So that's all they're doing. They're closing ranks and saying that they will not be allow themselves to be intimidated by people who want to trample on other people's freedoms. So that's the mood, and they're asking people to be calm. Of course, the people in the immediate community are quite scared. Some of them that spoke on local media saying they don't know if this is going to happen again, and they hope it won't. But they're quite courageous in the way they're reacting to this, closing ranks across religious lines and saying that people must be free to do what they want, religion-wise.
So as we await more details from the investigation, are there any plans by the police to step up security around places of worship in the country?
I haven't heard anything officially. I'm sure this will be done, but it will be done in a subtle way so that people will feel free and safe enough to be who they are and to move about their businesses. I'm sure the intelligence sector will be looking seriously at what they can find to avert a repeat. But if it's not, as I said earlier, the issue of being in a panic mode, they're trying so hard to avert that, but I'm sure security will be beefed up, but in a subtle way, in order that people won't be too scared to be who they are, move about their country freely.
Our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Staying on in South Africa, protesters have hauled petrol bombs at 3 Zambian registered trucks, leaving one of the drivers with life-threatening injuries. In a statement by the Zambian High Commission in Pretoria, three trucks were destroyed by petrol bombs in 2 separate attacks in the Limpopo province. Officials say this is the second attack on foreign vehicles in 2 weeks. Police authorities say some of the attacks were carried out by people angered by truck companies hiring foreign drivers. Zambia is urging the South African government to do more to protect its nationals, saying the assaults could hurt international trade. Most of Zambia's copper exports reach the international market via South Africa's roads and through its ports at Durban.